Good evening, our good viewers. As usual, we are glad that you have made NTV your #1 station. We are also happy that you have made NTV People's Parliament your favorite program. It is the only platform that gives Ugandans opportunity to speak out issues that affect their everyday life. That is why it is called the People's Parliament. It's the parliament that belongs to you. We are happy that every Saturday you make it a point at 5 minutes to watch NTV People's Parliament. We are still in Abim district. As you are aware, we couldn't finish these issues last week, so we had to give time this week to ensure that we give the people of Abim an opportunity to conclude whatever affects them in terms of farming. This parliament is chaired by none other than your speaker, Agnes Nandutu. Honorable members, I'm glad that you have come in big numbers. We couldn't finish this topic last week. I'm sure we are going to finish it tonight. And we are going to exhaust whatever challenge as smallholder farmers that we get in making Abim district a better district. The issue of middlemen and markets is very big. The farmers, what are the problems that you are getting with middlemen and markets? Are you selling your produce? Yes. And the young man behind the pole, come. You have the podium, honorable member. Your names, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm called Olwit Nelson Otim. I'm the chairperson of Abim District Commercial Farmers Association. I am here to present a few issues that affect farmers in Abim District.
Concerning markets and middlemen.
Concerning markets and middlemen.
Yes.
The first one is that the middlemen are actually exploiting. I have a friend of mine here who was talking as a middleman. They have been buying food crops from farmers at very low prices and making farmers not to get the benefit of actually doing cultivation. There is a cap here called apurming, meaning a farmer is stupid.
Who brought that?
The middlemen. So, as commercial farmers, we want to come together and put our efforts together, strengthen our association.
This is so abusive.
Yeah. Yes.
The middleman come here.
That a farmer is a fool.
Please come and explain. You are reaping from the farmers and you are saying that what? What did you say?
Apurming.
Aboroming. Why are you abusing the farmers?
Let me put it this way. Stupidity in the middleman's thought is really ignorance. But when you understand ignorance, ignorance is the lack of information. Yeah.
So you are saying they are ignorant.
What I'm saying is that I cannot, me as an individual, I am a member of this community.
But others do.
Others think like that. But that is why I'm saying, if we get more access to information, then we can have more power over the middleman.
That is bad. Go and tell your middlemen that please don't abuse our farmers.
I shall do that, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I am happy to hear from my brother who is a middleman accepting that due to lack of information, and it is true, it is because we lack information and that is why we are being exploited.
Saying what?
Apurming.
Aboroming.
So, Madam Speaker, as a Abim District Commercial Farmers Association, we want to create a situation where our farmers are actually informed. We want to do some bulking of whatever our farmers produce. We have representation in all the sub-counties in the district, and we want to reach a situation where everything produced within our communities, we provide market for them. We want to share market information. For example, some of the farmers, maybe we can even use this opportunity to make you know, there is InfoTrade Uganda. If you log in, you can be able to get information about market prices. If you look at Ratin, you can get the market prices in the whole of East Africa. for every crop that you produce. So I think this is what we want, so that we can be able to get it, because some of our farmers don't have smartphones, they don't have access to internet.
So you should bring information to them.
Yes, so we want to ensure we give information to them. The other problem which we face.
How as Commercial Farmers Association in Abim, how are you handling post-harvest? What are you doing with the post-harvest handling?
Madam Speaker, Abim District Commercial Farmers is just a year old. We are still trying to strengthen ourselves. And with the time, we shall be able to reach a situation where we can reach all our farmers. But for now, we are relying on the expertise of the farmers that we have, that are already involved in that, and also some of our agricultural extension workers.
Okay.
For example, in our meetings, we also invite like commercial officer. He has ever attended our meeting, and also other extension workers. So with the time, we shall reach that level of ensuring that our farmers produce something of quality that can be marketed at international level.
That would be good.
Madam Speaker, the other issue which I want to talk about is chief microfinance services. We don't have a source where a farmer can be able to get finances. For example, you may want to produce, like one of our colleagues said here, 150 acres, but the resource envelope you have as a farmer cannot make you to produce and cover all those areas. But in this Abim, we only have a commercial bank, that is DFCU bank, and our farmers don't have the preconditions to access loans from that kind of finance institution. Madam Speaker, Abim now needs to be connected to the...
Mr. RDC, you should advocate for a farmers bank in Abim district.
Yeah.
Let him take, please. You know, they are good at public relations.
Madam Speaker, we have a problem in this district that all the circles have died. Actually, we're trying to organize a burial ceremony for them, because even the only surviving one now has problems. But last week, Madam Speaker, I was in Moroto.
Order.
I was in Moroto, Madam Speaker. I have met the zonal manager of the Microfinance Support Center Limited. They are now dealing with the VSLAs, Village Saving Banks. That's what we call them, eh? The Village Saving Associations. So the information I have for the people of Abim form groups. If they are registered, you are going to get an agricultural loan at 9% per year. That's about 0.7 per month, which I think is good.
Clap for that.
Speaker, I am happy to...
Let's hope you are not... You walk the talk.
Yeah. Madam Speaker...
Walk the talk, Mr. RDC.
Madam Speaker, I want to assure you that even now at the end of this program, if there are people interested, they can approach me. Because already I have connected one of the groups around from New Corner, and they will soon get money.
Oh, that is...
Madam Speaker...
You have heard the people of Abim.
Madam Speaker, as a farmer, we are very happy to hear that. And as the Abim District Commercial Farmers, we have already formed also our part of our Village Saving and Loan Association. We wanted to loan money, we want to save money, so that we can be able to support each other.
You approach the RDC.
Now we have had one RDC start supporting our session.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, the other issue I have talked about was the issue of tarmac. We really need tarmac in this region. Madam Speaker, we know the advantage of having that kind of road. Farmers would not be complaining about middlemen, because they will be having several people who will come this side to buy their produce. But because of the bad road network and things like that, few buses even come here. For example, Lira is a very good route for us, and there is a market for us there. But the road is too bad to the extent that even these days buses don't pass that road. Madam Speaker,
as you wind up,
as I wind up, agro-processing plant would be very ideal for Abim as a district. Madam Speaker, look at the potential we have in terms of cassava in this district. We can be able to produce tons and tons of cassava that can be processed, packaged, and exported. We have that potential. And if we can have those agro-processing facilities here for maize, for millet, for cassava, and others, it would be okay. Lastly, we need transport to transport our goods to the markets. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. The man, Mr. RDC, representing the president in this district, I think you have heard the voices of the people of Abim. And I'm sure these people vote 90% here. 100%. Yes. So let them benefit from their votes. You have the platform.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, honorable members of People's Parliament. I'm Hetere Emmanuel, representing people from Adea.
Are you a young farmer?
Yes.
Good.
I'm a young farmer. The problem affecting farmers, one is poor road network, majorly on production areas. For instance, a road connecting from Halerek to Morulem sub-county up to Lotuke, then Lira or Soroti. That road is impassable. You cannot pass through it. Now that one gives the middleman a upper hand, more power to exploit the farmers. Madam Speaker, there is a challenge again on market information. Though today I had someone being introduced as the district commercial officer.
Did you know him?
No, I only saw him around the district, but in the field, doing his work, no. Farmers in Abim district here lack information about market. Completely, farmers are not getting information. To me, I wish if the district could use this local radio around here called Karibu to bring daily prices in major towns of Uganda through the district of Abim. Farmers would benefit a lot, other than telling us of sujid.com or what things. Thank you.
Thank you, young farmer. You have given very, very important points. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Senior citizen.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Amnon Voch. At the district level, I am the male councillor for older persons. I want to address myself to the issue of how we can protect small-scale farmers. The first level of protection that we must guarantee is protection against bureaucrats in our district level local government. They are hindering timely release of funds to heads of departments and even lower local governments. I want to challenge the office of the cow, if it is present here. I want to challenge the Secretary for Finance and Administration, who is here. She happens to be our vice chairperson. This last quarter, July to September, okay? The quarter release to departments, critical departments, and even sub-counties have not been affected, unless they were affected last week. And Madam Speaker, these are serious implications to even the activity of the district commercial officer who was standing here, and even the production department. If timely release of funds cannot be ensured, then our small-scale farmers will definitely have a very negative impact on their effectiveness. The other point that I would like to score...
And the last one.
Oh, thank you. Madam Speaker, is on corruption. Our people are shy to speak to this issue, but it is syndicate corruption. It is systematic, and it is systemic. Systemic because it is built in the very systems that are meant to serve our people, and we have patrons who overlook this. All right? And so we need to protect ourselves against those bureaucrats who are fleecing our people.
Thank you.
And the best way out is to flush them out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mzee Wakazi. Thank you, senior citizen. It is really unfortunate that even this corruption has patrons overhead. They have patrons. That means this is high level of corruption in Abim district. To the level that you have patrons of corruption, it is really unfortunate. We better style up. I think you have heard the voices of the people of Abim. Let's go for a short break. Don't go away. NTV People's Parliament comes back shortly. back, you are still watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Abim district. Very beautiful district indeed, with very hardworking people. You have heard them. They are big farmers, smallholder farmers, but they're also big farmers. Even those big holder farmers are doing big things. They have big gardens of cassava. They have big gardens of sorghum, millet, maize. Count it, sunflower. And they are crying of market. They are crying of middlemen, disturbing them. But the are you producing quality things? Farmers, how are you handling it? Middlemen, are you getting quality produce from these people?
There is a problem, one, when it comes to the seed. You see, it all begins with the seed. If you get low quality seed, then the produce will also be low quality. And then there are issues of mixing things. But the biggest place where quality is lost is between the garden and the market. And that is why, personally, allow me to say this. One of the things that I am doing as an individual is I'm speaking to the local leadership to have access to storage systems so that we can bring the implementation for value addition. 1 for sorghum, 2 for cassava, and 3 for honey. So that we can begin producing from here. We can begin adding value from here. I guarantee you, then we shall not be middlemen. We shall be partners. And that is what we are. That is what we are pushing for. Okay. I have spoken about this issue with the Honorable Minister of Local Government, that if we can reduce the distance between the garden and the market through organized storage systems, 2 things are going to happen. 1, the quality will increase. But also 2, there will be a certain way of security that will bring banks. I've been talking to Stanbic Bank to get them to come here and support the farmers through tractors, through harvesters, through planters. Without understanding technology, it is going to be very difficult, Madam Speaker, to achieve value addition for God and my country.
Thank you. Yesterday we saw people spreading cassava just on the ground, not uplands. Is everybody doing that? Why? Come and tell us. Come and tell us. What are the challenges? Come and tell us. Farmers, where are you? Come.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The challenge as to why farmers spread those things on the ground is not that because farmers are not interested in quality, but to some extent, there is also a gap between these input dealers. Like if you want to buy a carpet in Abim here, where will you go and buy it from? There's nowhere to go and buy a carpet from. You have to travel a distance, say from here maybe to Lira or Soroti. You want to buy a seed, there are no input dealers, say those who sell quality seeds within the district. So that one also will force you to go in the local market around, buy grain, use it as a seed. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
I'm by the names of Mildred Awile. I'm a farmer in Oporot Parish in Awach. I plant cassava. But then I also feel as farmers, you have to take responsibilities. You don't have to begin blaming the government, blaming other partners. Share Opportunity is doing their best. ADP is doing their best. World Vision, other partners are doing their best. But you as a farmer, what have you done? You're growing your crops out there, fine. How have you managed to reach to the market with your crops? Share Opportunity can come to your door to buy it? No. The store is there in Oruamuge, but to find that a few farmers take their crops there to the store. Value addition needs to be added.
But why? Why are farmers not taking their crops to the stores?
Actually, what I can say, I may agree partly with the commercial officer. Farmers can produce 3 bags, 4 bags, and that one cannot be sellable and consumed at the course of the year. So most of them keep it at home for consumption. True. And then on the issue of value...
Is it true? No. She's protesting, that lady. Come and protest from the microphone. This is a very serious farmer. And you're saying... Yes, go ahead, my farmer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I standing here, my name is David Olum. have been the center for bulking since 2013, Lotuke sub-county. People fear that because the first group we replaced were not trusted. When we entered the stream, we began to convince, to sensitize the farmers from the villages, and then they began to bring their produce, both for consumption and for sale. And we have sold so many bags to people for a little. Some even came from Soroti, even some came from Gulu to buy the seeds there. And then the agricultural input dealers also began to bring their produce, the agricultural input. That is the AgriNet brought seeds there, Oxplow there, and we sold for them. Even Equator Seed Company brought their seeds from Gulu there in our store. You know, the problem is this.
People are not aware about the stores.
They are there, they are aware, but they lose their trust because of the first group whom we replace them. But now, as I speak, there are some bugs in the store still.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, what are you?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm here to provide some information. I have a civil society background. Madam Speaker, one of the challenges that people encounter in setting up things like these stores we are talking about is lack of consultation before the projects are put up. You know, we have a...
They don't consult and sensitize.
Yeah, because government has a top-down approach, whereas actually with the civil society, it is a bottom-up approach. We must first consult the people, assess their needs before you put up a project.
Okay.
Now the question is, before these stores were built, were the people consulted? Was it a need that was identified by them? Because failing that, it will be like experience elsewhere, where some people went and built pit latrines in a community which did not believe in using holes for helping themselves. And
Okay,
they converted them into stores for bicycles.
Thank you, Senior Citizen. Somebody was talking about mistrust.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In most cases, people who take their produce to the stores don't actually trust those. Musa have just testified here that sometimes back, there was some group in Lotuke whom they trusted them with the management of the stores. But after then, people saw what they were doing was like they have the mistrust. They could not manage to keep the public property. So in most cases, in many, many other communities outside there, the farmers themselves now fears that whenever they take their produce, some other people would be like rats. The next day you go to the store, you will not find your food there.
The rats would have eaten
The rats would have taken them. So that is what I wanted to say, Madam Speaker.
And given a lot of corruption in the district, I think I agree with him. Yes. 1 minute, please.
Okay, please. Thank you, Madam Speaker and the members of the House. Actually, there is a major problem that I think these people have not identified, and most especially I've realized it in Morolem, because we also have the similar produce store. Actually, in the other store that we have, we were supposed to charge actually farmers per sack that you bring, at least a fee of 500 or 1,000. That will last until you will remove your produce from the store. I think it is because of this that the farmers feared to bring their produce in the stores, because they have their own houses. And also, if you see these houses, they're actually a risk they have a risk to fire. So that could have been a major problem. Then the other thing is we also have location where we put some of these stores. It could be that some of these stores are put to where people don't produce much food. So if you just put it like for a case of Ruamuge, I am not sure whether there are real farmers there, the real model farmers. So some of those things.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, honorable member. Order, honorable members. We have talked about all these challenges. Post-harvest handling, very poor. Storage, people have mistrust. We have no loans for the farmers who want to engage into real commercial farming. The free market economy where a dealer can decide the price, too bad. So what can we do? 1 minute each, please.
Thank you.
As you wait from here.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There are so many uncoordinated efforts in our district, and that is one thing that the leadership should actually take it for themselves to coordinate all these efforts. Mexico, for example, brought so many grain stores, though expensive, but the ownership wasn't taken care of. So it all comes back to our leadership. What can they do? How can the bad governance in Abim change to good governance? They know the answers, and it is them to resolve this. Secondly, the issue of market regulation. We are good at coming up with bylaws, with ordinances to control some of these middlemen within our markets. We are good at collecting the revenues. What of controlling these middlemen from exploiting our farmers? What can you do about coming up with an ordinance that can be put in these markets to regulate some of the expected prices that middlemen exert on farmers?
Okay. Thank you. Even if there is a free economy, okay? Free market economy, you can come up with an ordinance as a district. A very good point. You have not even clapped for it. A very good point that you can control your market as a district. Isn't that good for you? Go ahead, honorable member.
Madam Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Basing on the post-harvest handling, it's a very critical aspect in reaching the market. And honorable members, this issue has been among farmers, the smallholder farmers in Abim district. And so what I propose as a member in this house for the post-harvest handling is that the farmers association that have been formed and the District Commercial Farmers Association should be strengthened by the team of extension workers in the district. Strengthen them so that they can go further and reach all the farmers in all the sub-counties. And then the issue of village saving and loan association also be strengthened among these farmers so that they are able to buy some of these taplings to dry their crops, also to make these drying racks. Some partners tried in the district. Mercy Corps tried, I don't know, maybe World Vision. They tried to put up some drying racks, but these are far from the farm communities. I request government, if they would reach the farm communities, people are now resettling in their real farmlands. If they could be reached with these drying racks around them, it can help the farmers, at least to maintain quality.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Very good points. I think you have heard the people of Abim as we move in a way forward. They want solutions from themselves, from the district leaders, and right from government to ensure that things get better in Abim district. Let's go for a short break. NTV People's Parliament comes back still with solutions from these people. Yes, welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Abim district. You have heard the voices of the people of Abim. Now we want solutions. What is the way forward? What can government do? The leaders that be. From our head of state, from the ministers down to parliament, to the permanent secretaries, back to the district leaders and the farmers themselves. What can we do to ensure that we make Abim a better place? A food basket for this country and for the entire world. Please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I still repeat my name, that one, Joseph Dennis.
Speak up, please.
I want to get the way forward on making our project be okay. One, the first projects which has been made to select the committee to lead our store was not put in a very good analysis, because we select the people which are not farmers to keep the property of farmers. That is first thing. So we should have the farmers themselves. We should have the real farmers to keep their property and to take it proper. That is the way, one way forward. Two, we should get somebody who know how to lobby, which can get his transport to go and visit other districts, to see the way of the market, to see other prices from otherwhere. And he can pick his own money to go and do it. But not to get somebody and say that you support me to go and look for the way of selling your things. Okay. Those things can make rat to come.
Yes, it is true. You can hire somebody to look for market as farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thirdly,
and finish, please.
Thirdly, Madam Speaker, we have a problem in Abim. In June this year, at the end of June, floods, the rain, and the floods has taken all our crops away from our garden. What are the government thinking about this, our people?
So
I'm requesting.
How often are the floods? How often?
The floods came because we have a lot of rains from June, July, and then end of August. The rain was there, and all our cash crop just destroyed.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
You have the platform, please.
Yeah.
You have the platform. Order, honorable members, order.
Thank you so much, Madam Honorable Speaker. Way forward to our small-scale farmers. One is they should be involved in trainings. I feel when the small farmers are involved in the trainings, it will improve on their capacities.
Thank you.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I'm Honorable Abraham Kitacho, Councillor representing Abim Town Council and Kiru Town Council in Abim District Council. I would suggest that since there is limited information to farmers about the availability of stores, I think radio sports messages about the availability of stores needs to be actually funded through our development partners, so even the district or as the district council. We need to ensure that radio sports messages are organized to inform the farmers about the availability of the stores and how someone or a farmer can access the store, or the costs that, or the prices or the costs that is involved in storing your produce in the store. Two, Madam Speaker. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I would also want to say that if possible, the middlemen or the farmers or the middlemen, they should also come out with quality seeds and distribute to their respective farmers. Like for instance, if it comes,
they exploit them the more.
If it comes to, like for instance, sorghum, you find the quality of sorghum like a puri-pur is not here, when it's actually puri-pur itself is used for what? Making Eagle Lager and some other good which has got very good markets actually in some of these industries, especially the breweries. So the quality of sorghum within the district is also not very fair. So we advocate that if farmers really want quality seeds, like in terms of sorghum and others, they need also to come out with quality seeds and distribute, sell to the farmers, so that farmers, whatever they take to their fields, are really of good quality. Thank you very much.
1 minute, please.
Call me Charles Ivakui, an extension worker for our sub-county.
Where's the cow? Don't you have radio programs as a district? Please, why are you, come. You are not just going to explain from there. Because, wait, another way of mobilizing people can only be through these radios. As a district, don't you have radio programs?
We have radio programs.
Why are you not utilizing them?
For
sensitizing the people.
Well, I know that through the partners, we have been passing information through radios. The RDC has been on radio several times, and when our production staff or extension staff are invited, we come to radios and pass the information. It
so
is
you
only
make it a routine that anything concerning farmers, sensitize the people through those radio programs. Thank you. You can take a
Thank
seat.
you.
Please go ahead.
Right. I was saying to improve on market linkage by the smallholder farmers. One, we have to improve on the level of production. We are blaming this agro-input, rather, the middleman for cheating us using apurming. Apurming is used to farmers who do not produce enough for the market. You find the farmer is having just 2 tons. Can someone come from Lira to buy 2 tons on a lorry? Never. So let us improve the level of production by probably government helping us with tractors to mechanize our agriculture. There we shall have enough to what? To sell. Then the second thing is for us to support, for the mechanization of agriculture to be supported, let microfinance institutions be nearer to us here. You find right now we go up to Moroto to process loans. We go to Kotido to process loans. It is only DFCU which is here to provide us funds. Then another one is we improve on the road networks. You find even if you have like around 2 tons or 5 tons in your store, a farmer cannot transport it to the access road like this main road of Abuk. You find a deep farmer in the Kano there has to hire border. You know the cost of border from there up to the main road. It's around 20,000. Then what do you get from there? You end up selling to what? To a middleman who cheats you using a poor ming.
Okay.
Then, lastly, I also urge our farmers, you farmers, let us always respond to calls. You find when we call you for trainings, a few turn up. Most of you do not turn up for the issue of OJP. Madam Speaker, OJP in our language is something for the pocket when I call you for a sitting. So they really, our farmers from Abim like it so much. The other time we went for a tour in Nwaya. We found farmers from there can wait for you. You take their time like 8 hours, but they will not ask you even a bottle of water. So let us also improve farmers. We have to change. When we change our attitudes, we shall what? We shall develop. Thank you.
Thank you. From our partners, a way forward, please.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I would like to think that it's very important for us to enhance clear linkages between the farmer and the duty bearers. The farmers need to know their roles. They need to know what they are supposed to do. And the duty bearers need to support them duty, and make sure that once these linkages are strengthened, it will be easy for us to be able to dialogue. I'm very happy that these issues are coming up at a time when we are having rains all over the place. It is important that once we identify the targets within our districts, once we bring together all the people we are calling Aboromen, once we bring them here and we dialogue, we're able to come up with a clear way in which we are going to work together. My last request is that let us strengthen the agriculture extension services. Once the agriculture extension services are strengthened, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to enhance the capacity of the rural farmer down there to access the required information and skills. And once that is done, the rural farmers will be able to come together to have a better bargaining power. Thank you very much.
Honorable Florence, as a way forward, in 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I am so glad that a number of issues have come out, and I'm also glad that the district leadership is here. There are things that we are going to manage as a Abim district. I've been picking things that we are going to escalate them to the national level, probably with the minister and then the policymakers. There are times when we can be, doing these things, but if the policy is not strengthened, if the policy is not implemented, all our efforts and all the things that we've committed ourselves to do, these can be in vain. So I'm very glad that our leaders have listened. Farmers, thank you very much for being very bold. and bring out issues that are frustrating our efforts.
Okay.
As Chair and Opponent Uganda, we shall continue to give information and reaching as many farmers and the people of Abim with the rest of the other partners that we are working with in Abim district. Thank you very much.
The President is well represented. A way forward, please. Mr. RDC.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to promise that as leaders, we're going to take it up very seriously. Transparency, accountability, and the fight against corruption. It has come from one of the honorable members here that funds meant for the last quarter have not been passed on to the lower local governments. It is shocking, and we're going to investigate the matter. Then also, we should have timely delivery of inputs. Madam Speaker, as I talk now, we still have people delivering inputs, driver cassava cuttings. In Karamoja, you don't plant now, because you're going to have the sunshine up to March, April. So we should make sure next time we have timely delivery of inputs, and also stop the delivery of fake items. Then, very lastly, we should also make sure that there is information given to the people in terms of money. Every 3 months, the cow is here, I'm directing you. We should make sure that every 3 months, the public should know how much money has come for doing what, so that they are able to benefit from this money. And I'm going to take it up as the Chief Government Monitor to make sure that whatever has been brought up here, next time when the People's Parliament takes place here, we shall have an improvement. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. RDC. We are glad that you have been part of People's Parliament. Thank you, Chair and Opportunity Uganda, for being part of this parliament taking place here in Abim district. All the farmers who have come across Abim district, thank you for making it a point to come and speak about issues that affect your everyday life. I'm very glad, and I promise I will come back to Abim. Thank you very much. Back to government, you have heard the voices of the people for Abim. If agriculture is the backbone of this country, if you are talking about commercializing, mechanizing agriculture, give tractors to the farmers. They have said it. Give loans, agriculture loans to the farmers, and Abim will be beaming in this country. Thank you for watching People's Parliament. I'm glad. Thank you, and continue watching People's Parliament. I am your speaker, Agnes Nandutu, and I aspire to inspire you before I expire. With powers conferred upon me as the Speaker of People's Parliament, I adjourn this House until next Saturday.
The views expressed on this show do not represent those of NTV or its staff.